Hello there, Steve Kaufman here. You'll see that I got my shoulder kind of got a bit of a bandage on it. I've got an ice pack there. I think I overdid my workout some while ago, and I got a rotator cuff injury, and I'm supposed to go and play in an old timers hockey tournament next week, and it really hurts. I'm trying to see if I can't, with ice and all kinds of exercises I was given, fix it, although it doesn't seem to be getting any better. It's just getting worse. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about, first of all, the recent flare-up on my blog, The Linguist on Language, on the subject of Wikipedia. And I tried to, someone on the LingQ forum suggested that it would be a good idea for LingQ to have an entry in Wikipedia. So I had a look, and of course Live Mocha is there, and Rosetta Stone and Pimsleur, and I said, sure, why not LingQ? So I went to Live Mocha and I registered, and I tried to follow their instructions, and it's all there's lots of stuff. I mean, people are, at least I am, I often don't have the patience to read through everything, and we know that many people who come to LingQ don't want to read, they just want to get going and do it. So I thought I was doing it right, and I had Live Mocha and Rosetta Stone's wiki entries up there, and I was looking at them and trying to copy them, and I hadn't put in all the fancy footnotes and references and stuff like that. I'd kind of written what I wanted to write, and I went off to lunch, and I came back and it was gone, zapped. So I expressed a certain amount of displeasure at that treatment, and it is annoying to me that people can just take your work and zap it. Just delete it, speed delete, like what's the harm? So this generated the liveliest exchange of comments I've ever had on my blog. It ran up to about 56. And a lot of people trying to explain to me that this is how Wikipedia works, and I'm just stupid, I didn't read the instructions, and I have no right to complain. Which is valid, but my perspective is that Wikipedia provides a service. I was a user, I am a user, I appreciate Wikipedia, and I was prepared to be a contributor. And I was contributing content which was in essence the same as content they have on other language systems. I maybe didn't get it right. They could have communicated with me and said, no, that's not quite how we like it, please do this, instead of just deleting it. At LingQ, lots of people have trouble with LingQ. Everybody who asks us, whether they're paying members or free members, we take the trouble to explain things to them. And I think any organization, whether they're for-profit, not-for-profit, free, they're all in the same business. They're in the business of providing a service, and B, they hope to grow and prosper as an organism, as an organization. I make no distinctions between for-profit, not-for-profit, or anything else. It's all human endeavor. Human beings, like to be successful in whatever they're doing, in whatever their project is, and human beings like to be treated politely. At any rate, the debate raged. I was told that I couldn't accept criticism, I couldn't accept when I'm wrong, all that kind of stuff, just because I didn't agree with what everyone else was saying. Or not everyone, but a lot of people. Anyway, enough of that. I think we've exhausted ourselves on that one. I also posted some thoughts that I had on how LingQ could be used in a classroom. And I hope to get some feedback. I see Val in Tokyo has come back, and I want to talk to her. And she has some suggestions that my approach may not work. And so I really want to learn about how people who are familiar with LingQ might use LingQ in a classroom. I've put my ideas up simply just to get the discussion started. So what I want to focus on today is, it has to do with flashcards. And I had a comment from someone who follows my videos here, and thanked me and said that it helped inspire her to learn more languages and so forth, and that she's a student and she's very keen on languages, and she's now deciding that she has decided she wants to go after Russian and Spanish, and she's trying to do Russian and she finds it very difficult, and she reviews her flashcards both at LingQ and in Anki and whatever hundreds of times and still can't remember them. Do I have any advice? Yes, my advice is don't overdo flashcards. I think there is far too much emphasis placed on flashcards, whether it be spaced repetition systems, what was it called? Super Memo, Anki. I mean, those are all fine. as an adjunct to a language learning program, in my view. Now, other people may have different approaches, but to me, max 5% of the time that I spend in language learning is spent reviewing flashcards. And there are a few reasons. First of all, in my Russian studies, I can't remember the numbers exactly. LingQ tells me that I have saved 25,000 links and I have learned 55,000 words. And as I've said many times, learned means, or that knowing a word means that I know what it means. It doesn't necessarily mean that I can use it. Any language learner has a far larger passive vocabulary than active vocabulary. Nothing wrong with that. You still know what the word means. You can read, you can listen, you can understand. Now, when I read something new at LingQ, the new words to me are in blue, and they largely correspond to words either that I don't know or that I just haven't come across before. In fact, I know many of them. I know most of those words. So that number, 55,000, to the extent that it's reflected in what I see when I open up new content at LingQ, is quite accurate. So in 3 years, I've learned 55,000 words. I have saved 25,000 words. There is no way that I would have enough time, nor would I be inclined to spend enough time reviewing flashcards in order to learn those words. So when you review flashcards, you're seeing the words as flashcards. You're able to focus on a few of them, relationships between different words. It helps to some extent. Some of them, when you go through the flashcards, you'll get them right away. Some of them you will never learn. You can review them 100 times. You won't remember them. It's far better to spend your time reviewing these words in their natural setting, reading and listening. Particularly in LingQ, where any word that you have saved is now highlighted in yellow, and that helps to trigger, I find, my memory. So I see the yellow word, I see the meaning when I hover, I see it in a new context, I'm reminded that this is a word that I've saved before. That's how I learn. Plus, you pick up a lot of words, especially the way we count words in LingQ. We count every form of the word as a different word. So chances are when you've learned one form of the word, pretty soon you'll be picking up the others without having to save them. So between reviewing the words you've already saved when you read and seeing related words, guessing at them, plus other words that you pick up through context because you now know more and more words, the main activity should be reading and listening. And I mean, I know that I spend, I would guess, 5% of my time on reviewing my flashcards. I do it when I get my flashcards by email, because typically the way we work at LingQ, when I get my emailed with my saved links, the bulk of them are ones that I have saved recently. So they are relatively fresh in my mind. The context where I saw them is relatively fresh. So I have a better chance to get a bit of a head start on trying to learn them. Sometimes if I'm busy and I don't review my daily email of flashcards, then they've already kind of become frozen. But that's okay too, because the next time I run into them in my reading, they'll thaw out for me, you know. And words that you are never ever going to encounter again in your listening and reading, that you came across because you need it for one lesson and you saved it and it's now on your flashcard list and you can never remember it, and it's the type of flower that grows in northeastern Siberia or whatever the word is, forget it. It doesn't matter. You won't be able to remember them all. Focus on the ones that keep on coming back. Spend most of your time listening and reading and writing and speaking and so forth. And don't overdo flashcarding, whether it be with LingQ, Anki, SuperMemo, or whatever. To me, it is a relatively inefficient way of learning. Far better to get in there with a meaningful context, get some emotional involvement, create some context, remind yourself that you've seen the word before, and you'll find that before you know it, you're able to read a lot and you will know a lot of words. So there you have it. That's the end of my little discussion today. Thank you for listening.